Αγαπητοί τηλεθεατές, καλησπέρα σας. Όπως κάθε Παρασκευή, έτσι και σήμερα, η εκπομπή ΟΜΟΓΕΝΕΙΑ ΕΔΩ ΛΟΝΔΙΝΟ θα σας παρουσιάσει όλες τις εκδηλώσεις που πραγματοποιήθηκαν στην Ομογένεια του Λονδίνου. Αν αναρωτιέστε πώς θα παρακολουθείτε τις παραγωγές του Hellenic TV, καθώς και άλλα ελληνικά κανάλια από Ελλάδα και Κύπρο, να σας ενημερώσουμε ότι υπάρχουν οι εξής τρόποι. Για τους τηλεθεατές μας από το Ηνωμένο Βασίλειο, παρακολουθήστε το Hellenic TV από το Freeview στο κανάλι 244. Απαραίτητη είναι μια smart τηλεόραση με σύνδεση στο ίντερνετ. Επίσης, μπορείτε να προμηθευτείτε το Roku Box από τα γραφεία της ΙΤΑ UK στο Southgate και να μας παρακολουθείτε, καθώς και όλα τα τηλεοπτικά και ραδιοφωνικά ελληνικά κανάλια από Ελλάδα και Κύπρο. Για περισσότερες πληροφορίες, επικοινωνήστε με την ΣΥΤΑ UK ή επισκεφτείτε την ιστοσελίδα της www.sitauk.com. Το Hellenic TV δημιούργησε για σας το application Vision TV Net για τις smartphone και Android συσκευές σας, όπου μπορείτε να παρακολουθείτε όλα τα προγράμματά μας ζωντανά στο κινητό, στο tablet ή στον υπολογιστή σας. Για περισσότερες πληροφορίες σχετικά με τα προγράμματα του Hellenic TV, μπορείτε να βρείτε στην ιστοσελίδα μας www.hellenictv.net. Επικοινωνήστε μαζί μας για την προβολή της εκδήλωσης ή της επιχείρησής σας στο τηλέφωνο 020 82 92 70 37 ή στην ηλεκτρονική μας διεύθυνση info@hellenictv.net. Στο απόψινό μας πρόγραμμα θα παρακολουθήσετε την χοροεσπερίδα του Συνδέσμου Αμμοχώστου του Ηνωμένου Βασιλείου, την εκδήλωση για την επέτειο της 28ης Οκτωβρίου 1940 που διοργάνωσε ο Σύνδεσμος Ελληνοορθοδόξων Κοινοτήτων Μεγάλης Βρετανίας και τέλος απόσπασμα από την συνέντευξη που έδωσε στο Μάριο Καμιναρίδη στην Κύπρο ο Ανδρέας Μορφίτης. Ας ξεκινήσουμε το πρώτο μας θέμα που παρουσιάζει την πετυχημένη εκδήλωση που διοργάνωσε ο Σύνδεσμος Αμμοχώστου Ηνωμένου Βασιλείου και ο Πρόεδρος του, Δ. Βασίλης Μαύρου. Η χοροεσπερίδα πραγματοποιήθηκε στους χώρους του Penridge Suite την Κυριακή 23 Οκτωβρίου. Επίσημοι καλεσμένοι ήταν ο φιλοκύπριος Αρχηγός του Εργατικού Κόμματος Jeremy Corbyn, η σκιώδης Υπουργός Εξωτερικών των Εργατικών Thornberry, ο ύπατος αρμοστής της Κυπριακής Δημοκρατίας κ. Ευριπίδης Ευριβιάδης, παράγοντες συνδέσμων, οργανώσεων και πολιτικών κομμάτων της Ομογένειας. Συντονιστής της εκδήλωσης ήταν ο γραμματέας του Συνδέσμου Αμμοχώστου, κ. Ανδρέας Λουκά. Ας παρακολουθήσουμε πρώτα το καλωσόρισμα και τον χαιρετισμό από τον κύριο Λουκά.
On behalf of the FAMAGUSTA Association of Great Britain, I would like to welcome you to our annual dinner and dance. In particular, I would like to welcome the High Commissioner of Cyprus to the UK, Mr. Ευριπίδης Ευριβιάδης. We are honored and pleased to have with us the leader of the Labour Party and of the opposition to the Parliament, Mr. Jeremy Corbyn. A special welcome to Emily Thornberry, MP of Islington and Shadow Foreign Secretary. Emily, you are welcome. We are pleased to acknowledge the presence of leading dignitaries from our Cypriot community. The President of PAMAG, the Global Federation of Cypriots, Mr. Andreas Papavrividis, who is also the President of DC UK. The President of the Federation of Cypriots UK, Mr. Christos Karaoulis. The President of AGEL UK, represented today by George Michailidis. The President of DIGO UK, Mr. Michalis Elinas. The Deputy President of EDHE UK, Mr. George Koutoukis. The Coordinator of Lobby for Cyprus, Mr. Theo Theodorou. Representatives of local Cypriot community associations. The President of the Cyprus Parliament, Mr. Dimitris Silouris, and the Cyprus government spokesman, Mr. Nikos Christodoulidis, who are planning to be here with us, but they had to change their plans due to unforeseen circumstances. So they send us their respective greetings. Both of them, in different words, they express their appreciation to the work the FAMAGUSTA Association of Great Britain is doing in order to keep the flame for the return of FAMAGUSTA alive. The lobbying that is done by Cypriots in diaspora is essential for the gathering of international political support for a just solution of the Cyprus issue. We shall put the full messages on our website and also give them to the press so that you can read them at your leisure time later on. We have great entertainment program tonight with distinguished musicians, including the legendary musician of FAMAGUSTA, Mr. Stelios Chiotis. Stelio, you're welcome. Our thanks to the Elysee restaurant for arranging for Stelios to come over from Cyprus this weekend. Also, we have the famous Cyprus-based musician, Fani. Fani, you're welcome. Our own singer, Evdokia, locally here. Also, the bouzouki maestro, Andreas Shakolas, and his orchestra. Mario is here also. Vasilis Panagi will later on introduce the orchestra fully. Καλή διασκέδαση. Enjoy the evening.
Επόμενος ομιλητής ήταν ο ύπατος αρμοστής της Κύπρου, κ. Ευριπίδης Ευριβιάδης, ο οποίος μετέφερε το χαιρετισμό του Προέδρου της Δημοκρατίας, εξήρε την προσφορά και την συμμετοχή των αποδήμων Κυπρίων σε όλους τους τομείς της Βρετανικής κοινωνίας, αλλά μίλησε για το ρόλο και την προσφορά της ομογένειας προς τον αγώνα που διεξάγει η Κύπρος για την απελευθέρωση. Ας παρακολουθήσουμε τον κύριο Ευριβιάδη.
I am very cognizant of the fact that a short speech moves the hearts, but a long speech moves chairs. And certainly you are not here to listen to me, and I know that I'm blocking you from hearing the guest of honor and from entertaining yourselves, but allow me, not the 17 theses of Luther, but 4 things very, very succinctly in less than 3 minutes. First, to convey to you the greetings of the President of the Republic, Mr. Nikos Anastasiadis, and to thank each and every one of you for being the true ambassadors and for being the true high commissioners of Cyprus, not me. It is you that give voluntarily from your time and from your money in order to raise the flag of Cyprus and also, of course, of the United Kingdom, because this is your adopted country and you are citizens of this country. And our people in this country are no longer transients. They are good people, they are mainstream, that are contributing to the multiculturalism of this country, to the multiculturalism of this metropolis. May I mention Theopaphitis, Dr. Kypros Nikolaidis, Sir Stelios, Demis Hassapis. I do not know how many of you know Demis Hassapis, but he did wonderful work with artificial intelligence, selling his company to Google for close to 300 million pounds. In the entertainment industry, George Michael, Peter Andre, Marios Papadopoulos, the conductor and founder of the Oxford Philharmonic, a lot of people. So I pay tribute to you. We are greatly honored to have, of course, Mr. Corbyn with us. And if I may be allowed to say something that I said before, and I apologize to those that have heard it, we greatly appreciate Mr. Corbyn and Emily and Laura. We greatly appreciate all weather friends, because when the weather is fine, when the birds are singing, when the sun is out, listen, we have lots of friends. But when the thunder comes, when push comes to shove, in democracy, human rights, the rule of law, and what is correct, Mr. Corbyn has been there for the community knows it, and he's an all-weather friend of the community. Not just wishy-washy. And to you, as Famagustians, and I close because I think I'm just about up with my 3 minutes, when it comes to
We've stopped the clock, it's okay.
We stopped the clock. Thank you very much for your kindness and for your generosity. But as Famagustians, when it comes to the return of the city of Famagusta to its rightful owners, we're not talking about anybody else. We are all Famagustians. And we want the city to go back to its original owners. And of course, we want the sun of freedom, justice, human rights to fly across in the whole of Cyprus. The Cypriots, irrespective of their background, Greek Cypriots, Turkish Cypriots, Armenians, Maronites, and Latins, they are not children of a lesser God. They are all baked in the same sun. So what we want is nothing more and nothing less other than what is given to other law-abiding and freedom-loving people. What is good for 27 members of the European Union would certainly be good for the 28th in democracy, human rights, the rule of law. The clock has stopped and I'm stopping. Thank you very much. Να είστε καλά. Χρόνια πολλά. Καλή επιστροφή.
Στη συνέχεια στο βήμα ανέβηκε ο Πρόεδρος του Συνδέσμου Αμμοχώστου-Ηνωμένου Βασιλείου, Δ. Βασίλης Μαύρου, ο οποίος έκανε μια αγωνιστική και πατριωτική ομιλία στα αγγλικά αλλά και στα ελληνικά και αναφέρθηκε εν συντομία στα γεγονότα του 1974 και για τον βίαιο ξεριζωμό 200.000 Ελληνοκυπρίων από τις πατρογονικές τους εστίες. Ο Δ. Μαύρου τόνισε: θα αγωνιζόμαστε για επιστροφή όχι μόνο των Αμμοχωστιανών, αλλά όλων των προσφύγων, στα σπίτια και στις πατρογονικές τους εστίες. Η σκέψη μας είναι στραμμένη στους δικούς μας ανθρώπους, τους δρόμους, στις πλατείες, στα σχολεία, στα γήπεδά μας, στις εκκλησίες μας και στις πανέμορφες ακρογιαλιές μας. Ας παρακολουθήσουμε την πατριωτική ομιλία του Δ. Βασίλη Μαύρου.
I would like to welcome everybody to tonight's event, especially the leader of the Labour Party and the leader of Her Majesty's official opposition, Mr. Jeremy Corbyn, a great and lifelong friend of Cyprus. I would also like to welcome our distinguished MP, member of the Shadow Cabinet, Emily Thornberry, Shadow Foreign Secretary. The consequence of the Turkish invasion was the physical occupation of 37% of Cyprus' sovereign territory being illegally occupied by Turkish armed forces and the violent uprooting of 200,000 Greek Cypriots by force. The forced eviction of the indigenous population created a major exodus of Greek Cypriot refugees, who up to the present day are still refused the right of return to their homes and property in conditions of peace and security under the legitimate government of the Republic of Cyprus. Over the decades since the invasion, the state of Turkey has sent over thousands of illegal settlers and given them land and property in an attempt to create a de facto situation on the island by replacing the indigenous Greek Cypriot population with Turks from Turkish mainland. The Turks reinforced this with a policy of destruction and desecration of our cultural history. Christian churches and other symbols of our ethnicity, including the renaming of towns and villages from Greek to Turkish, all of these well-documented crimes against our shared cultural heritage aim to eliminate any evidence of our past, culture, civilization and religion, rewriting the history books according to a Turkish script. Once again, we are asking the British government, which is one of the guarantor powers of Cyprus' independence, to exercise this right and assist in the removal of the illegal Turkish military occupation of Cyprus and thereby create the appropriate conditions so that the lawful inhabitants of the occupied territory of Cyprus may return to their homes and land under the legitimate government of Cyprus. As a positive step towards a permanent solution to the occupation, Turkey should adopt confidence-building measures to demonstrate that they are a genuine partner for peace. We firmly believe that one measure that would potentially achieving this would be the handing back of the city of FAMAGUSTA to the legitimate government of the Republic of Cyprus. This measure has already been agreed and is part of the high-level agreements between the two community leaders, President Kyprianou and the Turkish Cypriot leader Denktaş, and is also included in the United Nations Security Council resolutions 550 and 789, as well as different European Union declarations. On the 16th November 2015, the UK House of Commons unanimously adopted a resolution on Cyprus and on FAMAGUSTA specifically, which endorses the declaration of the European Parliament of 14 February 2012 on the return of FAMAGUSTA to its lawful inhabitants, and notes that the city of FAMAGUSTA in the Republic of Cyprus was captured by the invading Turkish forces in August 1974 under the direct control of the Turkish military, and that the return of FAMAGUSTA to its lawful inhabitants would facilitate efforts toward a comprehensive settlement of Cyprus. This was the House of Commons in November 2015. We are therefore asking Britain to exercise its rights of guarantor power of Cyprus' independence and sovereignty. We believe that instead of simply accepting the current de facto situation and turning a blind eye to continued Turkish aggression, the UK government should take a much more proactive role in assisting both in the reinstatement of full sovereign rights over the entire island of Cyprus without the presence of illegal Turkish army of occupation and illegal Turkish settlers. The solution should be one that unites the single state of the Republic of Cyprus, a member state of the United Nations, the European Union and the Commonwealth, under conditions of peace and security. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Αγαπητοί φίλοι, εκ μέρους του Συμβουλίου του Συνδέσμου Αμμοχώστου-Ηνωμένου Βασιλείου, σας καλωσορίζω στη σημερινή μας βραδιά. Θέλω να ευχαριστήσω όλους εσάς που ανταποκριθήκατε στο κάλεσμά μας και βρίσκεστε εδώ μαζί μας για τον κοινό μας αγώνα για μια Κύπρο ελεύθερη, για μια Κύπρο ενωμένη. Δυστυχώς είμαστε μακριά από την πόλη μας την Αμμόχωστο, την πόλη του Ευαγόρα, τη βασιλεύουσα πόλη, την Αμμόχωστο, εκεί όπου μας ένωναν τα όνειρα για το αύριο και της ελπίδας για ένα καλύτερο μέλλον. Είμαστε δυστυχώς αναγκασμένοι να ζούμε στην εξορία σε αυτή την χώρα χωρίς τα αγαπημένα μας πρόσωπα και να περιμένουμε την επιστροφή. Αν και είμαστε μακριά από την αγαπημένη μας πόλη και μακριά από όλα εκείνα που μας τη θυμίζουν, εμείς πάντα την έχουμε στο μυαλό μας και θα αγωνιζόμαστε συνεχώς ώσπου να γίνει και πάλι η δικιά μας, καθώς και όλα τα κατεχόμενα εδάφη μας. Και θα αγωνιζόμαστε για επιστροφή όχι μόνο των Αμμοχωστιανών, αλλά και όλων των προσφύγων στα σπίτια και τις περιουσίες τους. Η σκέψη μας είναι πάντα στραμμένη στους δικούς μας ανθρώπους, τους βαροσιώτες και τις βαροσιώτισσες, στους γνωστούς μας δρόμους, τις πλατείες, τα σχολεία μας, τα γήπεδα μας, τις εκκλησίες μας και τις πανέμορφες ακρογιαλιές μας. Είναι δε πολύ συγκινητικό που συγκεντρωνόμαστε και συναντιόμαστε εδώ και στρέφουμε τη θύμηση πίσω, στην Αμμόχωστο, την πόλη μας. Εμείς από τη μεριά μας δίνουμε όρκο ότι όσος καιρός και να περάσει, εμείς αγωνιζόμαστε για τα δίκαιά μας και τη μεγάλη επιστροφή για μια ελεύθερη Κύπρο, χωρίς στρατούς κατοχής και χωρίς πρόσφυγες. Η δική μας υπόσχεση είναι ότι δεν θα υποστείλουμε ποτέ τη σημαία του αγώνα, ώσπου ο ήλιος της λευτεριάς και της δικαιοσύνης θα ανατείλει στην πόλη μας και θα ζήσουμε και πάλι σε μια ελεύθερη Αμμόχωστο, σε μια ελεύθερη Κύπρο. Ευχαριστώ.
Επόμενη ομιλήτρια ήταν η σκιώδης Υπουργός Εξωτερικών των Εργατικών, Thornberry, η οποία με τη σειρά της τόνισε την ιδιαίτερη σχέση που έχει με την Κύπρο, αφού ο πατέρας της υπηρέτησε για πολλά χρόνια στην Κύπρο και η ίδια γνωρίζει από πρώτο χέρι την βαρβαρότητα που διέπραξε η Τουρκία το 1974. Ας παρακολουθήσουμε την ομιλία της κυρίας Thornberry.
It's a great pleasure to come and talk to you about Cyprus and my love of Cyprus. I'm here with my husband, Christopher, and we know Cyprus very well. My father first went to Cyprus as a peacekeeper for the United Nations, and he fell in love. And he fell in love with the beautiful island of Cyprus, and he built his home there, and he lived there for many years until he died. And so us as a family visited Cyprus on many, many occasions. And whenever I get an opportunity to talk about Cyprus, I do. The last time I talked about Cyprus was 2 weeks ago. I was in Jerusalem, and I was on the balcony. I was on in the restaurant on the area just outside the King David Hotel, And I was waiting for my food. I know you feel the same tonight, but I was waiting for my food. I was so hungry. And we'd ordered the food, but we were there for Shimon Peres's funeral, so the whole world and their wife and their husband was there, and so we couldn't get served, and we were complaining about it. And there was a table of Cypriots next to us, and we started complaining to them, and they said, come and join us. Come and share our meal. So we went and we shared our meal, and I was telling them about my father's house in Pakna, and how beautiful it was, and how we saw the coastline of Pakna, the coastline of southern Cyprus from my father's balcony, and how much he loved it, and how much it hit his heart. And the man I was talking to said, oh yes, I know Pakna well. I used to be the MP for Pakna, and it turned out that I was sitting on the table of the president of Cyprus, and I was eating his bread. And it was very kind of him to share his meal with two very hungry English women, and I will always remember his kindness. But the many visits that we took to Pakna, we were in a position as tourists, as British people, to be able to cross the Green Line and be able to go into northern Cyprus, and to be able to see places that belong to many of my friends. And they would say to me, take a photograph. Please go to this street, please go to this house, please go to this business, take a photograph and bring it back, because we have not been able to see our home or our business since the early 1970s. And you as a tourist are allowed to, but we are not allowed to. And that really touched me, and it touched my heart. And I remember I went to FAMAGUSTA, and I remember when I went to FAMAGUSTA, I remember seeing the cathedral in FAMAGUSTA. And the cathedral in FAMAGUSTA, which looks like Reims, that was built by crusaders, and is the most extraordinary place, and is now a mosque. And I remember going to hotels and seeing hotels that hadn't changed since the 1970s. I remember going down the coast and seeing the ancient Greek city of Salamis. Salamis, is that how you pronounce it? And how it had all fallen into the sea, and my husband and I and our children were able to swim in the sea and see all the Greek ruins beneath us. I didn't know, and I'm ashamed to tell you I didn't know. I didn't know when I was there, and I only learned about it recently, that I learned about Varusha. Yeah, I didn't know that in the late 60s and the early 70s that the Copacabana of the Mediterranean was just outside FAMAGUSTA, that it was a town that had 39,000 population, 5 miles of golden beaches. I didn't know that Elizabeth Taylor had been there, or that Richard Burden or Raquel Welch or Brigitte Bardot had been there. I didn't know that it was a place of great beauty and a huge thriving economy. And I didn't know that when the Turks invaded, that they fenced the whole area off, and that no one has been able to visit it, and no one has been allowed to go there, and that it is simply an area that is used by sea turtles now, and that you can go down the streets and you can see 1970s cars in the car shop windows, and you can see to this day mannequins of women in long dresses and beads, and nothing has changed apart from the fact that it is rotting. And it has been rotting for more than 30, 40 years, and nothing has happened. And it has been an area that has been fenced off, and many, many people, 39,000 people, had to leave that area and have not been allowed to go back. And I understand. And I understand how people feel strongly about it, and I understand how people feel that whenever there is a settlement, and there must be a settlement for the future of Cyprus, that there has to be a settlement that properly looks at what we do about FAMAGUSTA, and the fact that so many people have left FAMAGUSTA and that area has been vacant for all these years. I understand that. I understand. We can never undo the justice that was done to the island of Cyprus, that was done to the 200,000 people of Cyprus who were driven from their homes in 1974, and that they're still living with that injustice today. They see other people occupying their homes, running their businesses, or just leaving those businesses or their homes to rot. That injustice cannot be undone. But we can hope that the next generation of children brought up on the beautiful island of Cyprus will not have to live with the division and the injustice that their parents and their grandparents have had to live with. We can hope that, given the leadership that was shown by President Anastasis, which my husband, who can speak ancient Greek, tells me means what is it, darling? Resurrection. And what an appropriate name for a president, huh? At this time. Then we can hope that those children will grow up in peace and security in a united and democratic Cyprus. In a Cyprus where, yes, we can lay to rest the grievances of the past, but we must make proper reparation for the injustices of that past, including the injustices done to the families of FAMAGUSTA. Jeremy and I will continue to support that process, and we will uphold the UK's position as a protector of peace and a guarantor of the independence of Cyprus, and we will continue to stand with you in the search for justice.
Οι ομιλίες έκλεισαν με τον αρχηγό του Εργατικού Κόμματος Jeremy Corbyn. Με ευθύτητα λόγου και χωρίς ευχολόγια και υπεκφυγές, ο κύριος Corbyn μίλησε για την μεγάλη αδικία εις βάρος της Κύπρου το 1974 και την καταστροφή που επέφερε η τουρκική εισβολή και τόνισε την ανάγκη να εξευρεθεί λύση που να κατοχυρώνει τα ανθρώπινα δικαιώματα και να επιστρέψει τους πρόσφυγες να επιστρέψουν στα σπίτια τους. Ας παρακολουθήσουμε ολόκληρη την ομιλία του κύριου Jeremy Corbyn.
Thank you very much, and thank you for inviting us here this evening. Vasilis, thank you for what you said and the way you've made so many of us welcome here this evening. You've made Lara, my wife, very welcome here tonight, despite it being her birthday. Yeah. And other members of my family, including my niece Jasmine and other people that are here tonight and her partner. Great. And I also want to acknowledge Susie Stride, who's here tonight. I'm going to just explain to Susie, there was a bit of a mistake in Harlow in the general election and the wrong person got elected. You know how it goes. But Susie obviously has a fantastic future and will speak up for Cyprus, because that is where her family comes from. Susie, you're very welcome tonight. Lovely to see you here. And Excellency and Vasilis, I want to say thank you very much for not just in arranging tonight's event and what you said, but Vasilis and I go back a very, very long way. When he was a young man and so was I, and we're both young once, it's okay. He still is, I'm not. And he came to help me in my office in Islington as a very, very valuable assistant in many, many ways, doing research work as well as helping with constituency issues. And what's totally impressive is the way that over all these years he's organised the FAMAGUSTA Society, never wavered whatsoever from the fundamental cause of bringing about the reunification of Cyprus and supporting the Cypriot community in the process. And it is a long time ago that it happened, the invasion. It's a long time ago the partition took place. He has never wavered 1 inch from his determination to see the island reunited, as indeed everyone in this room has never wavered from their determination to see the island of Cyprus as one, a reunited island. And in the 1970s, when the invasion took place, I was a councillor in Haringey, representing Haringey Ladder and South Hornsey area. And at that time, when the invasion took place, obviously a very large number of displaced people came to live in our area because there was already a substantial Cypriot community there. And I met them, of course, as is my job as a local councillor. I was also an official of the Labour group on the council, the controlling Labour group, and we immediately took a delegation to see the government at that time, demanding ease of access for those people fleeing from the war, demanding support for them, and also demanding that the government take a far stronger attitude towards Turkey and its responsibilities on the 1960 agreement as a guarantor of Cypriot independence. I believed that then, I believed it ever since, I believe it now. Emily and I in government will make sure that we carry out that responsibility. And I think the speech Emily just gave you indicates the incredible personal knowledge she's got of Cyprus, but also of her whole approach and attitude towards the future of the island. What impressed me then about the Cypriot community in Haringey in the 1970s and now was that actually people didn't ask for very much. They weren't asking for a lot other than us to politically act to try and bring about the reunification of Cyprus. But as Excellency pointed out, the community has made an incredible contribution to the economy and culture and life of this country. And I'm very proud to be a good friend, I hope, forever to the Cypriot community and acknowledge all the work that everyone's done in the businesses they've established, the jobs they've created, the communities they've developed, the work they've put in, and the huge general charitable support contribution that's made to our community and our society by all Cypriots in Britain. So thank you very much for all that you do. And I've learnt a great deal from the community. And fundamentally, it is one about community resilience. It is about understanding what goes on in this country and the political pressure that has to be put, but also understanding the support that has to be given in Cyprus itself. And so we've had the invasion, we've had the loss of life, we've had the destruction, we've had the partition, we've had the loss of property, and we've had the refusal for so long of rights of return. The Annan plan was rejected by the majority of Cypriots because it didn't meet the requirements of the Cypriot people as a whole. It has to be rethought. There has to be a new plan put together. It's not going to work unless it's acceptable to everybody. That has to be the basis on which a new plan is developed, and that's one that we'll be working on in opposition as well as hopefully in government in the near future, so that we hit the ground running and we're able to do all we can to support that process. We are in Britain at the moment going through a very strange process. The country voted by a majority to leave the European Union in the referendum, and we campaigned for a Remain vote. We were not successful in that, but straight after the referendum I was alarmed, as everybody else was, about what might happen. So the first thing I did was went straight to meet our partners in Brussels and in Paris of socialist parties across Europe to say to them quite simply, the Labour Party is an internationalist party. We are not going into an offshore island mentality. We are part of the wider community, and we intend to stay part of the wider community and work with the wider community. Emily was in Brussels on Wednesday with a delegation from our shadow cabinet in order to build very good and strong relations with European progressive and socialist parties, so that we do maintain market access for British industry and trade with Europe, but we also protect the conditions we've achieved from being members of the European Union, such as Working Time Directive and a number of the social conditions we've achieved. But above all, it's about the kind of relationships we have with the rest of Europe. And so in order to emphasise our seriousness on having a relationship with people all across this continent, we all, after all, live on the same continent, we're organising quite a substantial political summit of a number of parties coming to London next year, so that we can work out what our relationship will be in the future, because I don't want us to be cut off. I want us to be part of the relationship of people all across Europe, as I'm sure everyone in this room does as well. And so we have two tasks ahead of us. One of them is to politically push as hard as we can for a continuation of the dialogue, a deepening of the dialogue between the communities in Cyprus, to bring about a political settlement that enables people to return to their homes, enables the disgrace of what's happened to FAMAGUSTA to be righted, and that was part of a separate agreement in 2012, which is extremely significant, and to ensure that an incoming government takes its responsibilities very seriously. When a country takes on the responsibility to be the guarantor of independence, as Britain did in 1960, that is a very serious long-term responsibility. We recognise that, we understand that. I represent a constituency which I'm proud to represent, which has people from all over the world living in it. The fundamental message I give to everyone when they come to me with many, many issues they raise is quite simply this. I want a government that bases its foreign policy on peace, on justice, on human rights, on international law. I want a foreign policy which is a contribution towards improving democracy, living standards and human rights around the world. That means accepting our responsibilities, It means ensuring there is a peaceful solution to the conflicts, of bringing people together, but also recognise the deep injustices that have been done and were done in 1974 when that invasion took place. If that means a difficult relationship with some big powers in order to assert our determination to uphold the rule of law and human rights, then so be it. But I'm absolutely determined that we will have a government dedicated to the principle of human rights all around the world, just as much as in our relationships with Europe in the future. I am very clear that any attempt by this government to withdraw from the European Court of Human Rights or reduce our participation in it, or to withdraw from the European Convention on Human Rights, will be met with total opposition by us, because human rights are universal. They're not just national, they're a universal concept. And so the human rights of all of us are the right of free speech, the right of self-identity, the right of assembly, the right to practice your faith, the right to live, the right to be able to practice your own language and your own community values. All those things are very fundamental, and I intend to make sure that they are fundamental to our foreign policy and what we do. These are times that are, for me, very exciting, very active, and also a fantastic opportunity to meet with and work with communities, some of whom I've known, such as your community, for very many years. Some I'm getting to know better for almost the first time. But if you approach every problem from the same principle of democracy, peace, justice and human rights, then you have those core principles on which you can develop the solution to the problems. I want to conclude with saying this. This community has made the most incredible contribution to life in Britain. You should be very proud of so much that's been achieved, this incredible contribution that's been made. You should be very proud of the support you've given to a whole lot of people. And despite the division of the island, the pride you have in the Republic of Cyprus, the pride you have in a solution that does bring about communities being able to live together and work together on a basis of respect and justice. That is something surely we all demand for ourselves, and we make sure happens for everybody else. And so to me, it's a wonderful pleasure to work with this community over so many years and to be here tonight. And if you invite me, I'll be very happy to come again. Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you, Mr. Corbyn.
Εκτός από τις ομιλίες, είχαμε και μεγάλο καλλιτεχνικό πρόγραμμα. Στην εκδήλωση τραγούδισε ο γνωστός αμμοχωστιανός καλλιτέχνης Στέλιος Χιώτης. Επίσης, από την Κύπρο ήρθε η τραγουδίστρια Φανή. Το καλλιτεχνικό πρόγραμμα ξεκίνησε με τη γνωστή τραγουδίστρια της Παροικίας, Ευδοκία Χρυσοστόμου, η οποία τραγούδισε πατριωτικά τραγούδια. Ακολούθησαν ο Στέλιος Χιώτης και η Φανή. Εμείς θα σας δείξουμε ένα μικρό απόσπασμα από το καλλιτεχνικό πρόγραμμα.
Στο κύμα σαν τραγούδι και φυσούσε τα ερούδι. του δρόμου η άκρη είναι μακριά, θολωμένο δάκρυ. Είμαστε αυτή καρδιά, γιατί στέκονται μοναξία, είσαι απέραντη σαλήνη, ερημός χωρίς σκιά. Μάνα εσύ έχεις τη λύπη, τη σιωπή για συντροφιά. Το ξέρουμε, πάμε μαζί, τραγουδάω. Πάμε, που έχω μέσα στη χαρά. Λίγο πιο δυνατά. Τραγουδάω χωρίς την ακρογιαλιά. Τέρια! Πάμε να ακούσω. Κόμμα που περπάτησα, γύρω σταυρό. Πάμε! Κόμμα που λίγο πιο δυνατά. Κόμμα που περπάτησα, γύρω σταυρό. Κόμμα που παράστησα. Χέρια! Τραγουδάω για μια πόλη που έχω μέσα στην καρδιά. Τραγουδάω για μια κόρη χωρίς την ακρογιαλιά. Μην κουράζεστε, πάμε! Κόμμα που περπάτησα, γύρω σταυρό σου μεγάλο. Κόμμα που από λίγο πιο δυνατά μπορούμε. Κόμμα που περπάτησα, γύρω σταυρό. Κόμμα που παράστησες Αμμοχώστου. Διάφορα μόνοι μας θέλω. Κόμμα που περπάτησα, έτσι μπράβο. Γύρω σταυρό. Πιο δυνατά. Κόμμα που παράστησες Αμμοχώστου. I love you all. Μπράβο, μπράβο, μπράβο. Λοιπόν, μεγάλη χαρά που βρίσκομαι σήμερα εδώ.
Just
Ολόκληρη την εκδήλωση, πολλές ακόμα ομιλίες αλλά και το καλλιτεχνικό πρόγραμμα θα παρακολουθήσετε προσεχώς στην εκπομπή με το φακό του Hellenic TV.